get back to you. Just hold on, mga kaibigan. Just give me a few minutes. And I'll get back to you. Mali tayo. Teka, dito tayo. Siyempre, hindi ko makita. Alam mo naman. Kasi sinabi na magsalamin eh. Hindi naman tayo... Wait lang, I'll be back.
Pinoy Talks with Benedict Abaygar. Anything and everything under the sun. Programang inyong kagigiliwan, malaman, seryoso, pero may kilig. Pinoy Talks with Benedict Abaygar. Narito na ang pinakabagong inaabangang programa sa Digital TV. Good morning, Kuyaks! Programang hitik sa impormasyon, serbisyo publiko at its best public service at its finest. Good morning, Kuyaks! Sa pangunguna ni Bayaning Chuper, Superman Alex Sabaton at ang Kuyang ng Lansangan, Colonel Edison Pong de Bria. Masiglang talakayan, malalim na usapan. Good morning, Kuyaks! Handa ka na ba? Si Henry Herdilio magbabantay, pupulsuhan mga kaganapan sa Kongreso at Senado, Halls of Congress. Mga panukalang batas, pag-uusapan, tatalakayin, papantayan, Halls of Congress. Palatuntunang magbibigay balita sa bayan, Halls of Congress ni Henry Herdilio. Dito lamang sa VantagePoint Media.
Ayun, okay. So, yun ang ating commercial. Di tama-tama, text ko pa lang. Nag-log-in na. Ayan na po, ang aking kuyang, ang ASEC ng Department of, paano ba yun? DICT.
Department of Information and Communications Technology po, kuya. Magandang hapon po sa inyo, kay Jovit, sa inyong mga taga-panood, tsaka taga-pakinig.
Ikaw ay, siyempre ikaw ay abogado, siyempre, kaya matalino to. Pero ikaw ay ang ASEC for Legal, di ba? And the spokesperson, tama ba?
Opo, ang portfolio ko po ay ako ang Assistant Secretary, so ako ang Executive in charge for Legal Affairs for the 3 regulatory bodies of the ICT, also for the Legislative Liaison Division, at last of my portfolio is I'm also the spokesperson for the ICT po.
Grabe, ikaw ba'y natutulog pa, kuya? Ikaw ba'y...
halata ba sa mata ko na medyo kulang-kulang tayo?
Alam mo, sa gobyerno, mabusisira yung isang trabaho. Sa'yo, 3 yata, 4.
4 portfolios po. Pero it's challenging, pero nagpapasalamat din tayo sa sekretaryo natin, si Secretary Ivan John E. Uy, for giving me the trust to handle all these particular units tsaka yung portfolio na binigay niyo sa atin. Sana hindi natin mabigo yung tiwalang pinagkaloob sa atin.
Iyon. Alam niyo, pag yung magaling, yun daw ang nauutusan. Yung magaling, yung tinatamaan ng ligaw na utos. Tama ba yun, kuya?
Buti sana kung ligaw eh. Pero...
Kuya, ito po yung bagong programa natin. Today is the first day. So hopefully we can grow our viewers. Pwede mong i-share VantagePoint Media sa Facebook
Of
mo para
course.
manood yung mga kuyang natin and
Ay,
everyone. No?
oo,
Ah,
oo. Ito na, gagawin na ho natin.
ayun, no? Siyempre, kailangan na para lumago ang ang ating mga watchers. Siyempre, first day natin today. At
Opo, opo.
siyempre, ang first guest natin, ikaw!
Kung hindi ho tayo nakita kagabi.
Salamat Asek at talagang
Ah,
pinagbigyan mo tayo kaya I love you.
love you kuya. Tsaka alam naman ho ay anytime na makapag-ano ho tayo, makapag-extend ho tayo ng cable tow natin, tsaka yung mga konti kaalaman ho natin, gagawin ho natin yan.
Ayos, ayos,
Uh,
ayos. At
uh,
teka, saan ba yun? So, Kuya, alam naman natin ngayon, we are in the cyber age, di ba?
oho.
Ngayon, dati merong industrial age. Wala na tayo sa industrial age. Now we live in the digital era. We are on a life where ones and zeros matter. Tama ba yun, Goyam? And
Tama ho.
alam naman natin na medyo pagdating sa digital infrastructure, medyo humahabol pa ang Pilipinas. Pero nevertheless, hindi naman tayo short sa talent. No? Sa
Oho.
infrastructure tayo short. Yung talent, wala. Dahil maraming Pilipino nakakagawa ng kung ano-ano. Di ba? Meron pang hacker na Pilipino na sikat nun.
Yung gumawa ng I love. Tama ho kaya Jovit no? Pagdating ho siguro sa infrastructures natin, medyo mahabol pa tayo. Pero the Filipino talent when it comes to ICT, whether it's cybersecurity, hacking, ethical, or otherwise, yung mga programmers ho natin, game developers ho natin, app developers ho natin, nangunguna ho ang Pilipinas. In fact, marami sa kanila pinipirata. That's one of the challenges ho talaga sa gobyerno ngayon. Parang kulang na kulang ho ang mga nag-a-apply for government when it comes to ICT workers. Unang-una, the disparity of yung sweldo ho nila is malaking-malaki ho talaga. Isipin niyo na lang sa gobyerno as compared to the private sector here in the Philippines. Much more if talagang ang in-demand ang ICT workers sa ibang bansa. Yung mga ICT workers ho natin, malaki ho ang kinikita sa ibang bansa. So, again, that's one of the challenges of government din ho talaga.
Yun, no? Pero mga ano natin ngayon, dangerous, we live in dangerous times, actually.
Opo.
Alam mo, recently, naging malaking problema sa atin yung na-hostage at na-hack ang ating PhilHealth, di ba?
Opo, opo.
No? Napaka-delikado noon because hindi lang yung personal data pero pati yung medical data ata ng ating mga kababayan.
Opo.
Meron bang steps ang ginagawa ng gobyerno para ipalakasin? Meron bang mandate ang DICT to compel other government agencies na magkaroon ng standard? Yung magkaroon ba ng good practices pagdating sa security ng cyber nila?
Well, that's the primary mandate naman talaga ng DIC is the technical advisor of government when it comes to ICT yung mga ICT requirements niya. Nakakalungkot nga lang we have no talagang power to compel na sumunod or parang we cannot sanction all other government agencies. Right now we have a program called yung MITI prerogative natin which is lahat ng mga gusto mag-procure ng ICT systems or infrastructures nila na pagdating sa gobyerno kailangan mo na mag-apply ng ISSP ho bago ho sila releasean ng DBM ng budget for their procurement para ho ma-ensure na the ICT took a look of yung mga terms of reference nila. It would be compatible, it would be advisable for them to procure these services at yung mga specs na yun para ho matugunan yung mga pangangailangan nila. Ang nakakalungkot lang ho, after ng mag-granta ng ISP, they can revise their TORs or they can just, di ba, pagdating sa procurement altogether, hindi na nila sundin or even yung yung pag-oversight when it comes to the implementation of the terms of reference so after the procurement process. So, yun again, one of the challenges of the ICT. Pero we are constantly...
Yun ang subliminal way of compelling them.
Pero again, pag na-issue mo na yung ISSP ko yan, hindi wala ka ng oversight. Ibig sabihin, sinunod ba nila in terms of reference na inapruban ng DICT? Hindi rin naman. So that's apparently a lot of the problems lie dito sa Pero to be fair naman, may ibang mga ahensya na they go above and beyond yung ISSP. Talagang ano sila, cyber security cautious sila, especially our banking institutions, yung BSPO, yung mga financial institutions natin. Talagang they're very security cautious. So it's both sides of the spectrum when it comes to compliance with international standards of cybersecurity and maintaining your systems.
I'm sure marami rin tayong mga programs na ginagamit sa Pilipinas na widely popular sa taong bayan. Pero other countries have already deemed this as dangerous, di ba? Katulad ng TikTok. Maraming backdoor yung programs nila. So mukhang si Big Brother nakikinig yata doon. Kaya binan yata in the Western world yan. Tama ba yung pagkakaintindi ko dyan? Kasi
Marami yun nga ho, na tama kayo, may mga ibang countries that are very favorable to censorship and restriction na talagang binaban ho yung mga ganito mga social media platforms. But again, to be fair sa ating mga social media platforms, including TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, nakakausap naman ho natin sila. And recently, DICT signed a memorandum of agreement with them in order for them to have a partnership and cooperation with government. Kasi ang first problem kasi wala tayong jurisdiction. To be honest, wala tayong jurisdiction over them. Kasi they're based on outside the Philippines, so acquiring jurisdiction for them is a problem. But we are thankful that they stepped up. They came up with an agreement with DICT and a memorandum of agreement for a partnership. Ang talagang safety structure natin dito yung tinatawag nila mga community policies nila eh. So these community policies are developed and formulated outside the Philippines, but for these social media platforms to talk to us and come up with an agreement to revise their community policies in order to fit yung cultures of the Filipino. Ibang-iba ho talaga ang kultura ng Pilipino.
totoo.
Admittedly, tayo, more conservative tayo. Hindi lang halata kay Kuya Jovi tsaka sa
Charot
akin.
lang!
Hindi lang ho halata kay Kuya Jovi tsaka sa akin. The Filipino culture is very conservative, so that's why parang they agreed naman. And I'd like to thank our friends dito sa mga social media friends natin na they agreed that they would tweak their community policies in order to observe majority of our cultures and pero again, it still is a problem when it comes to really enforcing these. Halimbawa, magkakaroon ng mga subpoenas when it comes to kung sino ba talaga yung naniniran to. Still has to go a very, very tedious process when it comes to these social media entities.
I see. So yun ang natin, no? Pero hindi pa like some countries sa gateway pa lang nila kinokontrol na nila, so you do not have access to certain app, certain programs. Meron ba tayong policy na ganun sa Pilipinas, or are we fully democratized pagdating sa net?
Well, yeah, the Philippines under the leadership of our president is fully aware and is strictly adheres to the personal freedoms granted by our Constitution, inclusive of yung freedom of expression, freedom of association. So talagang maingat na maingat ho ang ating administrasyon, ng ating gobyerno na talagang pangalagaan at protektahan ng mga karapatan ito ng ating mga kababayan.
Ayos. Pero sa mga concern ngayon, ano ba ang parang dumadami daw yung mga account ng mga bangko, nahahack yung mga personal account nila. Is this alam ko hindi ito policy, hindi ito ng gobyerno, but do you think it's a lack of education ng ating mga...
Bago ko sagutin yan, Kuya Jovit, may gusto ko ipakilala sa inyo. Ang aming Undersecretary for Connectivity. Ito yung that I have, Cybersecurity, Connectivity, and upskilling.
Hello, Yusek!
Very worshipful Jeffrey E&D of Quezon City Lodge.
Very Yanko!
Jovit.
po!
So, makakaasa ho kayo dito sa DICT. Medyo yung moral compass ho namin nasa tama, at saka yung mga...
On the level.
Very smooth na yung mga... yung ashlars namin, very, very smooth na.
Ayos. Baka gusto ni Berry sumama dito. Tatlo na tayo.
Papaupoy ko muna. Baka may tanong kayo sa kanya.
May media calls I will hang on for 5 minutes kasi may media calls.
Sit.
May media calls.
Akalain mo, nagkaroon tayo ng additional guest dito. Maraming VIP dito. Mga yangko natin. Ito yung mga matatalino nating yangko sa DICT dahil very technical ito department nila. Hindi lang katulad ng iba na very administrative heavy. Kayo, technical heavy yung sa inyo eh. Di ba, mga yangko?
Lalo na ho yung portfolio ni Kuya Jeff natin because again, most of the mandate of the ICTs revolves around connectivity, cybersecurity, and upskilling. I think kung maibigay pa sa kanya yung isang particular portfolio, siya na ang buong DICT.
Hindi naman.
So, in short, pareho kayo tinatamaan ng ligaw ng utos dahil magagaling kayong dalawa.
Ligaw na utos. Maganda yun, ha? Tama.
Ganun eh. Dati, alam mo, matagal din ako sa gobyerno. Nung nasa Malacanang ako, madalas ako tamaan ng ligaw ng utos eh.
Time ni Jimmy nga pala, no?
The good old days.
Bago ang lahat, congratulations sa mga pumasa. Nilalabas na yung mga results ng bar examinations for 2023.
Alam
so
mo,
maingay ko dito kasi yung legal department ko lahat no tumigil sa trabaho, nakatutok sa results.
alam mo, sabi nung mga yung mga lolo ko, mga abogado, sabi nila, alam mo yung profesyon namin, meron kaming battle cry, ha? Manalo matalo, bayad pa rin kami.
Pa rin
ako nung araw ang battle cry ko, manalo matalo. Cute pa rin ako. Pero yung mga yan ko, bago umalis si Berry, alam ko, binigyan tayo ng konting oras. Meron akong katanungan, no? Kasi ngayon, alam mo naman, ang karamihan ng tao, ang complaint nila, nahahack yung kanilang social media, nahahack yung kanilang bank account, nahahack yung lahat ng kung ano-ano nila, no? I mean, it's getting to be a pandemic. Hindi lang naman sa Pilipinas yan. I mean, it happens in any other country. Pero tayo, let's be concerned about the Philippines. Wala naman tayong pakialam, ma-hack yung bank account nung nasa Amerika, di ba?
Meron din ako din.
Pero dito, do you think it is a lack of education sa taong bayan when it comes to cyber health, for example, cyber hygiene kung tawagin?
Siguro masasabi mo na, Kuya, na it's a lack of general understanding sa importansya ng cybersecurity kasi it boils down sa maliliit nating ginagawa. May balanse kasi yan ng comfort sa konting, security mechanism. Example, two-factor authentication. Yung iba kasi medyo nahihirapan, di ba? Two-factor authentication, biro mo, naglagay na ako ng password, maghihintay pa ako ng text.
OTP.
Ng one-time password natin, di ba? Para makapag-login. So yung iba, hindi nila tina-turn on para madali. Lalo na sa Facebook. Marami na-hack sa Facebook, hindi na nare-report, ano? So kailangan nating i-educate yung mga tao na with a little discomfort, minor lang naman, para lang ma-activate natin yung two-factor authentication natin. Pangalawa, wag tayong magte-text. Wag tayong magki-click ng mga text messages.
Marami po ganun sa akin.
Oo, dapat yung mga, halimbawa,
999 bonus.
Yeah. Ano mo, suggestion ko, Kuya, sa lahat na nakikinig sa'yo, kung alam mo yung link ng bangko mo, isave mo na sa browser mo as favorite. Para pag pupunta ka sa bangko mo, yun na yun. Alam mo, tama yun. Huwag kang mag-click ng, sabi mo kanina, ligaw na utos, huwag ka rin mag-click ng ligaw na link.
Ligaw na link.
Pinadala sa text, pinadala sa email, ligaw yan eh.
Sa OTTS.
At kung akala po ninyo hindi kayo maloloko, maloloko po kayo. Alam nyo, minsan, yung letter O at saka number 0, hindi mo alam ang diferensya. Depende na sa font yan. At yung mga manloloko, alam nilang dayain yung tinatawag na URL para magbukang bangko mo. Example, sorry na sa video, gawin ko example video, BD0. Akala mo video online pa rin, di ba? Pero yung pala, BD00N line. Pag click mo ngayon, iba ang pupuntahan mo. Pero kamukhang kamukha. Kaya yun ang advice ko. Siguro yun ang pinakamadaling maintindihan. Two-factor authentication at saka wag mag-click sa ligaw na link. Pwede natin gamitin yan.
Actually, meron siyang Meron kang
ligaw na link.
Hindi, yung
bird.
Yung bird mo. Yung don't touch my bird. Yeah. Meron siyang acronym for cyber hygiene which I will let him share. Ano yung bird?
Black. Black. Ano nga ba yan?
unwanted, unsecured
Pag
sites.
may na-receive kang message sa'yo na alam mo naman spam, i-block mo kaagad. Kaya nyo naman mag-block sa phone, no? Kaya block the number. Tapos, ano nga ba yan? Report. Sorry, block. Nakalimutan ko na, bro, promise.
Yung bird.
Report and delete yun. Nakalimutan ko yung sorry. Ito kasi
Investigate.
pinasa bird.
Block, investigate, ganun ba? Or
I think investigate eh. Parang something for documentation yun.
Wow nga.
Diba yung I?
Babalikan kita dyan, kuya.
babalikan natin yan dahil every Tuesday and Thursday ang ating programa. Yeah. So anytime yung gusto nyong may iparating sa publiko, this is my first show pala kasi I just started today. So buena mano ang mga yangko.
Salamat.
Before me, kanina umaga, may program din si Kuyang Bong Nebriha. At saka at saka sumunod doon, may program naman si Kuyang Attorney Alex Abaton, ang ating RTO. So kompleto tayo rito. Meron tayong news, meron tayong usapang kuyang, meron tayong si Kuyang Manny naman, may show siya about entrepreneurs. Yan, dito.
Manny lang sa man.
No. Hindi ko sa kalunch, pero siya si fine craftsman.
Yes. At saka
It was soon kay Manny na something happened to him.
Medyo okay na, nasa bahay, nagpapahinga. At nagkaroon siya ng konting scare. Kagabi, nasa hospital eh. And si Kuyang Danfred naman, may programa about mga architecture and engineering. Marami tayo dito, may mga news tayo, tsaka may mga chef pa na may mga cooking shows. Pero siguro 50% ang nag-anchor dito. Yangko!
Very good, that's nice.
That's nice.
Mga
Imo ko na kayo. Sorry kuya, may meeting ako ng 2. Hinahanap ko lang siya.
Sa lalay niya, pumasok siya sa opisina ko.
Yan.
Pero kung may tanong ka, siguro one last.
One last. So, kanina sabi natin may mga nag-spoof na mga sites, no, using 0 or O, di ba? They spoof it. It makes it look like, ito ba mga local players or are these international syndicates or paano ba ito?
These are international usually, no, kuya. Pero, ano sila they're massive. Siguro ang gusto kong sabihin based on our intelligence and our network of computer emergency response teams which we coordinate around the world kasi ako yung may hawak sa cyber under ni Secretary Ivan Uy, no? So ang report sa amin, this is an industry. Yun yung kailangan nating maintindihan. Hindi ito parang, no, these people are, alam mo kuya, kapag nakakita ka ng professional, di ba? Naka-long sleeves, naka-coat, papasok sa isang malaking building na may badge. This spam and this culture of scamming is actually a white-collared job that is an entire industry worldwide.
It's our department.
You won't see these people yung akala mo naka-hood tapos, di ba? Hindi. They have naka-long sleeves, kumakain ng matino. They are very calm people. They know how to hack not only your computer but also your mind. Kaya ang style nila palagi madaliin kang mag-click. Mag-ano sila yung parang
appeal
may sense of urgency.
May sense of urgency. Hoy, nahack ka. Click mo to para mabawi mo yung account mo. Ganon palagi ang modus operandi.
Yan ba may mga local na counterparts sila dito? Meron ba silang Alalay, Alipores dito? Kasi alam ko may mga parang bumibili yata ng mga SIM card by bulk. Ano ba yung ginagawa nila?
Marami na tayong nahuhuling mga ganyan through the assistance of the CICC, no, yung Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Center, which is also a attached agency of the ICT. In terms of SIM cards, daan-daang libo na ang nakuha natin. In terms of tao, libo na rin yung ating mga na-register. Yung iba nga rito ay transnationals, hindi sila Pilipino, no? So, hindi na lang ako magbanggit ng nationality, kuya, baka...
pero I'd like to point out yung sasabi ni Yusek Jeff kanina, ni Very Worshipful Jeff. For the first time in the history of the ICT, I have a very competent and very able secretary to lead the department. He's so knowledgeable that, you know, yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, he can quantify in terms of data. Sabi niya nga, in the ASEAN region alone, it's around 2 to 3 trillion dollar scam industry.
Yeah.
So that's what we're faced with.
Malaki po. Marami na tayo nahuhuli pero we don't even dent their entire operation.
Parang mali
Ano
ang
po to?
trabaho pinasok ko.
International ito. Ha?
Makalimutan na
Parang
ng
mali ang
trabaho.
pinasok ko.
Scammer. Susunod na makikita dyan sa LinkedIn, no? Sa LinkedIn. Scammer for hire. Digital scammer for hire.
Wala yung edad kong to yung edad kong to, wala pang computer nun
Minsan siguro, papakita ko pa, wala lang akong computer ngayon. Kung gaano, we can actually, ako personally, we can actually mimic any website in a few minutes.
Ganun ha?
Halimbawa, land bank website, minsan dinemo ko yan. I can do that in 45 seconds. Kamukha ni land bank. Tapos iba lang yung nasa itaas. Siyempre yung perfecting it in such a way na talagang maloloko kita may take some days, no? Pero sinasabi ko lang, to copy a website such that kahit sino maloloko, hindi po siya mahirap. There are tools being na free and also better tools that are being sold that can copy websites and they are flawless, identical. Kaya talaga mag-ingat po tayo.
Siguro dapat mag-move ang DICT. Hindi ko alam kung ginagawa nyo. Ako naman naghaka-haka, kuro-kuro lang. To move to push the decks na isama, kasi mga bata ngayon, 5 years old pa lang, magaling na magaganon So yung education natin sa baba, to educate them as early as possible about safety, cyber safety, alam mo,
yes, cyber hygiene.
Cyber hygiene. Kaya medyo kulang yan sa mga public schools natin So yung mga tao, click ng click. Ang karamihan na tinatamaan din yung mga mahihirap kasi konti na lang yung pera nila, nananakawan pa sila dahil nga kulang sa kaalaman.
Correct. Sa atin, medyo maliit yun. Sa kanila, baka life savings nila yun, di ba? Di pala sa akin, sa'yo pala, boss. Baka sa'yo, maliit yun.
Sabi ko na lang pag naging hacker na ako.
Kuya Jovit, pasensya ka na, pero may alas dos lang ako. Pero
Berry, I love you. Minsan,
kahit na ilang minuto, nag-guest mo ako sa sa broadcast mo.
Let's do this again.
Actually, ako, spokesperson lang ako, pero ang in-demand talaga sa amin sa DICT, yung tao to. He's a technical guy of the DICT.
Sige po.
Love you, Yanko. Ayan, tuloy tayo. Naiwan si Attorney Aboy na lang. Buti
Papagtsagaan nyo na lang ulit ako.
Captured market ito. Love ko to Yako, meron bang mga ginagawang steps ang DICT like that to kumbaga push other departments to start training our youth as early as possible?
Well, we're in constant communication. In fact, we have several agreements now with various institutions like the CHED, the DEX. Hopefully, we can come up with a curriculum or something inclusive of the curriculum that would tackle or that would deal with cybersecurity. Diba? Sabi ko nga parang ngayon ang nagiging natin is ngayon pa lang tayo nagiging aware of how to utilize the internet properly and the dangers of the internet. If there's one lesson that the pandemic taught us, it was really to be really reliant and dependent on yung internet, tsaka being digitalized, even our payments. When sobrang educated na yung mga tao using e-payments like GCash, Paymaya. Hindi naman sila nagpa-promote. Diba? These sorts of e-payment and even online banking Even nga yung sa mga grassroots area, even yung mga depressed areas natin, they're very attuned to using GCash and Paymaya and other payment systems.
Nakita ko nga sa announcement ng GCash, acceptable na sila around the world. Marami na
to be go to a sari-sari store. They already accept yung mga payment system. In fact, punta kayo dito sa DICT, we have a Christmas bazaar. Yung mga bazaar namin, use yung mga changge use GCash, di ba? Paymaya.
Kasi dati sa probinsya, pag may pera ka, lalagay mo lang sa ilalim ng kutso, no? Kaya sa kawayan. Ngayon, at least nakabangko na. At saka, I believe itong mga ito insured ng di ba? Ano ba yung insurance natin sa bangko? Yung sa bangko.
PDI.
PDIC. I believe tama ba 'yon? PDIC.
Yes. All the payment gateways or all payment platforms are required na parang they act as banking institution who act as a banking institution must be registered and insured by the PDIC.
Alam mo, Kuya, very happy ako na siyempre ikaw ang first guest ko on my first day. The reason is because naiintindihan natin na we now live in a digital age. And siyempre, alam mo, napaka-importante ng role na piniplay ng DICT. Unsung hero ito eh. Ang alam lang ng tao, merong Department of Health, may Department of Defense, pero bihira sa tao nakakalam na meron palang DICT. Tama ba yun? So, hindi kayo sikat pero you are doing so much work which actually protects the economy, protects the people, it protects so many layers sa ating modern society. Tama ba yun, attorney?
Kuyang, kasi ganito, ang DICT ho kasi is only a 7-year department. We were created 2016. We are now...
Nung nandyan ako, wala pa kayo.
Wala pa. Now we are being, and we are fortunate to have a president who is very visionary, that understands the value of digitalization, values yung pag-i-eliminate ng red tape when it comes to government processes, that he emphasizes digitalizations. Thus, the ICT is being pushed to the forefront na we are now being put into the public eye. And it's both a blessing and a challenge because now we will be held accountable na to push forward for the president's agenda of digitalization.
Good yan eh. And, pero balita ko, wala kayong confidential fund.
Well, on that point, we really we really bow and we really respect the prerogative of the legislature and the DBM. Yeah. Kaibigan naman ho natin yung mga sila Sekmina, yung mga USEX niya na dami natin kaibigan dyan. And we respect their discretion on whether to give us or whether we need this funds or not. Pero kami naman sa DICT, whether or not that's there, we push forward with what we need to do. Konti lang kami dito, but the men and women here work tirelessly. So hats off to the men and women of DICT as well.
Ayos. Pero yung bang, ako lulubos-lubosin ko na, bihira lang kita makausap ng seryoso. Pag magkasama tayo, lagi tayo nagtatawanan eh.
Kaya nga, tsaka bihira mo lang makakita ng nakabarong. Sige lang.
Oo, tayo, t-shirt group lang tayo, patawa-tawa lang tayo eh. In all honesty mga kaibigan, sa mga hindi nakakalam, kami po ay kapwa Mason at kami po ay magkaibigan. Yan ang reason kung bakit masaya kami kahit na we're talking about things which matter to the nation. Yanko, meron ako isa pang tanong sa iyo. Ito alam mo naman ngayon ano ba ang estado ng cyber platform o cyber security ng ating AFP? Ito ba ay dumadaan sa inyo o meron ba silang sariling mundo?
Like I said, yung ISSP ho nila, in order for them to get the budget from the DBM, dadaan ho sa amin yung mga regular line procurements ho nila that they need para makapag-release ng budget sa kanila ang DBM. However, because the AFP and Department of National Defense have their own confidential funds that they can use to procure certain tools that they need, whether it's for the physical defense or the cyber defense of the country, yung iba hong procurement nila hindi na ho dumadaan sa DICT because they are using their confidential funds.
Top secret yan, yung mga...
and understandable naman po yan.
Mga pang-radar-radar, mga top secret yan eh. Oo. Pero teka, merong nag-message sa akin dito. Sabi niya, sabihin mo naman kay Yanko Beb, sabi niya, si Jun Tirado, di mo daw siya pinapansin.
Hindi pag siya, nanginginig pa pag si Kuya...
Nanonood si Kuyang Jun sa atin. Sabi niya, oy, dalawang gwapo, di niyo ako naalala.
Sa yung mga naghahanap po ng mga properties at ng mariretire at saka mapag-retire. Text nyo lang, Jun Terrado sa Facebook.
Vice President ng Century Properties. Yanko, may special discount, may mga special promo or whatever. Maraming may bibigay si Kuyang Jun Terrado. Alam mo, Yanko, ang isang kagandahan din kay Jun, merong kasama ko to sa Apostles of Christ, meron kaming libreng clinic, yung Courage Care, which we give free prep. Alam mo ngayon, may prep. Pero that's another topic for another day. Sa healthcare naman tayo. Namimigay din kami ng free test kits. At syempre, yung mga HIV positive, pag nag-positive sa testing, libre din po ang gamutan sa amin. Yan ang kagandahan. Marami tayong mga lower income families ngayon
Yes.
na may transmission, mother to child. Pero andito po kami at your service, Courage Care. Yan po ang clinic ng Apostles of Christ Family Mission. Anyway, balik, nag-digress tayo. No? We digressed a while. So let's go back to cyber. Alam mo, napaka-interesting ang cyber kasi alam mo, yan ko, ang daming mga generation ko, hindi ko alam kung, I'm sure you're younger.
Medyo dikit tayo, boss. Medyo dikit tayo kasi nung bata ko napapanood kita sa Dots eh.
Yan ako yun. Alam ko, ka-generation ko si Jun Terrado eh. Alam, siya tayo di ko alam kung inabutan mo, pero nung araw merong movie, yung Terminator, di ba? Yung AI, siya ang nag-rule ng world at siya ang gumawa na
Skynet, yeah.
Yan ba founded fear? Ano ba ang tingin natin sa mga ganyan? Ang daming mga haka-haka, kuro-kuro dyan. Pero ito, I'm not asking you kung ito ba'y mangyayari because obviously even the bright minds around the world are talking about this and nobody can agree, di ba? Kahit si Microsoft founder tsaka sila po, may kanya-kanya silang opinion. So I'm not going to ask you that. Ang tanong ko lang naman, do we, sa DICT ba, do we plan for such events in advance? Because I'm sure other countries, meron silang mga contingency plan just in case this happens, just in case that happens. Tayo ba, are we looking at this or are we are we focusing now on just developing muna yung ating kakayahan sa cyber?
Well, it's both. We plan ahead that, whatever contingency that is talaga nasa na may visibility natin, we try to prepare for the whatever outcome or whatever eventuality that might arise out of yung mga issues na ganyan, including AI. And we are also trying to take advantage of the benefits of using this particular technology, especially sa AI na talaga naman pag ginamit mo mapapabilis. Something that I would like to address right now is yung parang yung fear ng mga tao na parang sasabi nila, yun nga yun sa Terminator movie na parang AI ang Skynet, they would take over the world. But we really have to understand that, AI is a tool. Hindi siya makakagalaw ng walang intervention ng tao. You have to input something in order to get our product out of the AI. Mas mabilis nga lang, mas efficient nga lang si AI rather than yung individual search. But it still needs human intervention. Ang sasabi nga nila, recently I was present at yung Geeks on the Beach na event ho na co-sponsored ng DICT. And I was fortunate enough to get a little bit of a crash course when it comes to AI. One of the speakers there, may tinanong sa kanya, ang fear ng tao kasi, marami daw sa kanila ang papalitan na ng AI. AI would replace humans. He has a very succinct and very, very, very compact and interesting way of addressing the question. Sabi niya, AI will not replace humans. Humans will be replaced by humans who can use AI.
Ayun, yun ang marami na ngayon.
So
AI na nag-i-scam.
actually, it's being also used for that. Totoo naman, and we gotten reports and we gotten a first glimpse of how AI is being used also for yung mga itong mga masasamang gawain na to. But unfortunately for us, di ba sabi ko since AI is a tool, we can also counteract those tools with other tools, with other AIs naman that are programmed to detect scams naman din ho.
Ayos, ano? Pero alam mo, pag in-interview ko yung DOH naman, ang tanong ko, paano ba yung zombie apocalypse? Meron ba tayo?
Sabi ko, medyo pa-advance yung mga pinapanood natin dati. Parang nangyayari na rin talaga.
Who would have thought na makikita natin yung pandemya? Nobody imagine that. Sa libro lang natin, sa TV lang natin nakikita yun. Bigla naging realidad eh.
Oh, exactly.
It was a wake-up call for the world on how unprepared we are as a race, as a human race.
Oh, and given the past 100 years, parang the development of technologies really iba na ngayon. Parang mas mabilis na ngayon. Parang Even in our procurement processes sa gobyerno, pag when we try to procure for ICT tools, hardware or software, parang in 2 years time, obsolete na sila. So really, we really have to have that vision to plan ahead na parang upgradable yung mga pinoprocure mo.
Yun, ano? Pero ako naman, babaguhin ko na konti tanong ko. Gagawin kong personal. Ito personal question kay Asik. Naku, ninervyos. Nakita ko parang gumanon. It's a personal question I want to ask you. Alam
Sige,
mo,
boss.
matagal na tayong mason. Ikaw, matagal ka na rin mason. Sa tingin mo ba nakatulong ang masoneria sa iyong pagsilbi? Because I know you're very dedicated to your work. Tatawagan kita, may meeting ka, nasa opisina ka eh. Alam ko, gabi ka na maalis sa opisina mo. You're one of the few people I know in government na maaga nandyan at gabi na natatapos. So ito ang tanong ko so pagdating sa good governance, alam ko na ikaw ay tapat sa iyong serbisyo. Sa tingin mo ba nakatulong ang mga prinsipyo ng masoneria, ng ating samahan, ng ating kapatiran sa iyong pagsilbi sa ating kababayan?
I don't think I would do or I would be here kung hindi rin ho do sa mga sa teaching sa atin sa masoneria. For example, you talk about yung work ethic ho natin. We are taught yung paggamit ng 24-inch gauge natin, how to efficiently divide our time between family, work, and recreation. We are taught also yung mga moral compasses natin, guide us na parang what is yung ultimate right to natin na parang although yung moralities of other faiths may vary, pero sa atin we are very diversified and yet we are one. So sasabihin ko nga parang at least that for me taught me na parang there is a common moral compass given the various faiths that we have in Masonry.
Emphasis
It's just one isa lang yan, isa yung moral compass natin, and I think that moral compass is what's guide siguro me, Kuya Jeff, dito sa DICT, and probably kasi si Jeff is in government for way before me. He's been naging deputy commissioner pa nga sa customs eh. So I think that teaches us a lot of how to do our jobs, and ano ipa-prioritize of yung between conflicting interests dito sa gobyerno.
Yun. I think the government needs more Masons. Hindi, sa totoo lang. Maganda yung pundasyon kasi natin eh. Ako, I believe
or at least may share natin yung mga views natin, yung mga natutunan natin sa masoneria. That's what I try to do, even yung mga non-Masons. I try to impart what I know from Masonry dun sa mga hinahawakan ko mga tao, and hopefully they pick up on it, tapos diba they help really nation sa pagtulak natin towards nation building.
Pero marami kang fans dito. Sabi ni Jomel Maranan, oy, Asek, shout out daw.
Si Kuya Jomel ay kaludge ko. Si Kuya Bunso is kaludge ko.
Ano ba, miyembro yata ng Pandakan Lads to
Ayan, isa ko sa mga well-traveled Masons po yan.
Love na love ko yan, si Jomel Maranan.
Hopefully, sabi ko nga he's still in government, and hopefully we have a talk na para hopefully he can help me here sa DICT.
Kuyang Jomel, minsan magkita-kita tayo, magkape-kape tayo. Pag kami ni Kuyang Aboy, masaya lang kami. Ngayon lang kami nag-uusap ng seryoso dito on the air. At saka siyempre, si Kuyang Alex Abaton, si Kuyang attorney.
Very worshipful. Maganda. Attorney.
Interviewin ka rin daw niya sa programa niya sa umaga.
Of course.
At nandito rin, kinakamusta ka rin ni Yanko, si Bunrofil Altares, Idol Asik, pa-shout out po.
Yeah, si Very Worshipful. Siya ho ang DDGM ngayon sa Bulacan. I think dalawa ho ang districts na ho sa Bulacan. Yan, si Very Worshipful Bon Altares. Kasama ko rin ho yan, nagpa-basketball nung marunong pa yata ako mag-basketball ngayon.
Ngayon na. Puro katrabaho eh. Puro katrabaho. Ito, sabi ni John Tirado, wag po kuya, millennial ako, tay. Pero tayo sa Saga Pagaryongan, watching from Marawi, Asik.
My prayers go out to the victims at saka the people of Marawi. Ako kung hindi niyo itatanong kay Jovit, isa rin akong follower of Islam. Muslim po ako. Aking nanay is from Tawi-Tawi. Whatever faith you have dun sa nangyari, it's unacceptable really. It's really unacceptable what happened to the Marawi bombing. Apektado ho kami lahat, both communities, whether you belong to the Christian faith or the Muslim faith. But again, my prayers go out to the families of mga biktima at saka sa people of Marawi. Marawi strong ho tayo.
Yun, oh. Tayo pare-pareho tayong tao, whatever our faith is, let us respect. You don't have to respect the religion. You respect the humanity. Kasi when you respect another human being, it shows you respect your religion, whatever your religion may be. Because all religions talk about loving other people. Tama ba yun?
Opo. Siguro isa rin yan sa mga tinuro sa akin sa mga nila. Sabi ko, we are so diversified when it comes to all other faiths na parang yung tolerance is really ingrained sa atin when it comes to other, di ba? So,
yan nga yung yung Grand Lodge doon sa Jerusalem. Alam mo, kasama ko yung ka-lodge ko actually yung isa nagpunta ron. Sabi niya, yun ang most peaceful part sa Middle East. May Muslim, may Hudyo, may Kristiyano, lahat sila nasa lodge. Sabay-sabay pa magpe-fellowship pagkatapos. Pero sa labas nagkikira, pero sa loob ng lodge, magkakapatid lahat. Kinakamusta ka rin dito si Jomel. Oy, sabi niya, dalawin niyo ako sa LRTA.
Ay, may mga kuya din tayo dyan. Kuya Paul Chupa, sino pa may mga kuya natin sa LRTA. Marami rin tayo yung nakilala sa LRTA.
Ay, magkakape kami minsan dyan. Sabi ni Winston Galang, mga idol, daglag niyo po ako as follower. Reynold Max, stronger than fire.
Kuya Winston, long time no see. I haven't seen Kuya Winston.
Si General Bobby Tanding, ang ating matikas na police, sir.
Very merciful, sir. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Ayan, at marami tayong followers. Maraming magme-message sa atin. Pero sa ngayon, tuloy natin ang usapan at konti na lang matatapos na yung oras. Pasensya na po kayo at ngayon ko lang na alam ko busy tong si Kuya Aboy, pero talagang kagabi kinapture ko na ito, kinontrata ko na mga kaibigan. At nagpapasalamat ako at hindi tayo nahindihan ni Kuya Aboy. Love na love ko to
Sabi ko nga, it's your first episode and siguro ako, I'm fortunate to be invited. I'm sure kung na-invita ko na si Jeff earlier na nagkaroon ng conflict with the meeting, he would have, really have wanted to stay para mag-usap-usap mo tayo.
Itong programa natin, ang title ito JOVITASYON! Dito natin pag-uusapan ng lahat ng Jovitations. Ano maisip ng kalbo? Yan ang pag-uusapan. Pero alam mo, we're doing a public service. We want to inform people. Dito we want to talk about the truth. We want people na mawala yung haka-haka, kuro-kuro. So in our program sa Jovitations, we want people to ask questions. We want them to have clarity dun sa mga bagay-bagay na, alam mo naman, yung may cloudiness. Gusto natin bright. Di ba? Di ba? Ayan. Sabi ni Leo Cablayan, Attorney Aboy, pa-shout out naman. Ayan.
Leo, isa ho yan sa mga childhood, childhood friends natin yan sa dati natin tinitirahan sa Project 4.
Wow. Oo. Anyway, matuloy tayo ng konti, no? We have a little time. I think I wanna nako si Almason, si Doc Almason. Hi, Beb.
So, directed sa yan, hindi sa akin yan.
Yeah. So, ito mga
pag nanonood yung asawa ko, hindi akin yun. Kaya,
si Kuyang Alpo yun, yung doktor sa mata. Ako, lumapit ako sa kanya. Sabi ko, Kuyang, hindi ko makita yung letra ng cellphone ko. Sabi niya, akong bahala dyan. Kaya ngayon, yung cellphone ko, ganyan na kalalaki yung letra.
Nabasa ko yan kagabi.
Pero lumaki naman yung letra. Magaling talaga yan Kuyang Asek, kamusta kayo? Jack Mangalindan. Yun, Jack.
Jack, yes. Magandang hapon po.
Dito, kompleto tayo, mga Yanko. Pero Yanko, mabalik tayo, no? In the private sector, obviously, the ICT, wala namang clout sa private sector. Pero nagiging issue rin ngayon ang ating private sector nagiging under attack. At habang dumadami ang ating mga companies that are slowly turning towards digitalization of records, digitalization of processes, digitalization of services. How do we protect now yung ating, siyempre, data? Alam naman natin meron tayong data law. Alam naman din natin na ang problema natin sa Pilipinas ay enforcement. Sa tingin mo ba paano natin palalakasin to? Obviously, obviously the ICT will have to work with Congress, and Congress has to say, yeah, it's about time. Pero sa tingin mo ba this will happen? Magiging matibay din tayo like other countries in the future, or the typical Filipino na okay na yan, meron na tayo niyan, okay lang yan?
This is the time that I would like to highlight naman yung one of our attached agencies. Ito ang National Privacy Commission headed by Com Jan Naga, a good friend of ours, si DepCom Neris De Jesus, tsaka si DepCom si Aguirre, si Deo Aguirre. So there's a law right now that, for example, there is a violation of yung privacy of data, enforceable na ho siya whether it's government or a private entity. And that particular agency, the National Privacy Commission, really is a very efficient organization that really monitors yung mga data breaches ho natin at making people who are accountable, holding their foot to the fire, so to speak. So meron na ho. Pero again, when it comes to enforcement, there is a lot of work to be done, siguro ho.
And I think maybe to strengthen the penalties as well for companies that do not keep up with the standards.
Yes, and the disclosure part of it, kasi most of these companies would rather keep yung mga data breaches na yan to themselves hanggat hindi sila mahuli. And to be honest, the resources of government really cannot, 24/7 monitor all these particular incidents, cyber incidents na to. So I think there has to be some legislature when it comes to self-accountability, yung declaration nila, strengthening the institutions that enforce these laws. So yun yung siguro mga kailangan gawin when it comes to yung pagdating to sa private sector natin. Pero again, hindi naman natin lalatin. May marami rin naman na very proactively try to secure the best systems when it comes to their cybersecurity. Marami rin sa kanila are very open, being most of them are public companies, those with ISO certifications that they have to really disclose whatever is really going on in their companies. But siguro karamihan pa rin is kailangan talagang pukpukin pa para mag-disclose at saka try to keep up with international standards of cybersecurity.
Well, dali lang. Meron akong meron akong katanungan. Last question ko. Pero actually, hindi last. I'm sure hindi ka pa naman aalis. May few minutes ka pa. Bago ko tanong yan, meron ditong sabi ni Kuyang Carl ng C. Pa-shout out kay kumparing ASEC, Attorney Aboy Paraiso. Ang pogi mo, pre!
Si Boss Carl lang C is one of the owners of Outlast Batteries. Hindi naman sa pinopromote natin sila.
Yan.
Nakakasama natin sa Monday group natin yan, Kuya Jovi.
Yun. Ito, Kuya, meron ako tanong. No? Alam mo, I think you and I are both well-traveled people. And mapapansin natin, when we go abroad, when we go and travel, or even if you don't go abroad, when you start browsing websites that are based on servers nila or in other countries, mapapansin mo, di ba, uso ngayon yung merong parang pop-up tapos may cookies.
Yeah.
You notice that the European standard, or in many countries, makikita mo doon na you can opt out of all cookies.
Yes.
Bakit sa Pilipinas walang opt out of all? Parang you can either take it or leave it. Parang ganun yung cookies. Karamihan, even some of the major TV stations, pag when you try to look at their website for the news, parang pahirapan pa na i-off mo yung mga cookies. Why can we not protect more the privacy of our people?
Well, yun totoo, meron naman yung opt-out function din when it comes to cookies sa individual. Ang mahirap lang ko kasi is the education of the people on how to really turn off these. Tsaka siguro, again, maybe for purposes of enforcement, parang mas mapadali at saka mas maging apparent na parang, makikita ka agad on how to opt out of these.
Kasi sa Europe, napaka straightforward accept, reject all. Wala ka nang i-click na isa-isahin mo pa. Sa Amerika, may gano'n.
Isa-isa.
Sa Amerika, sa Singapore, may pa-isa. Pati naman yung European na, kasi EU law Talaga
Yep.
na reject all, straightforward.
Dito pa isa-isa. And understandably naman ho kasi, these pop-ups are sources of revenues din ho for the individual websites. Ang siguro ang maging maingat lang ho tayo, even if it's revenue generating, may mga nagbabayad din ho mga scammers para ma-promote yung mga scam sites ho nila. So maging mapagmatsyag na lang ho tayo. Gaya na sinasabi ni Yusik Jeff kanina, if it's not really your cup of tea or you really huwag na lang i-click.
Sabi ni Sedi Good Dalida, Boss Amoy, mabuhay ka!
Was said it.
Saka siyempre, nandito si Fernando Emboltorio. Yung mga anak-anakan ko nandito. Pa-shout out, sir. Teka, Yanko, meron ako another question for you. Ang DICT ba, merong regulatory authority under its mandate? Kasi you know how other, like ang DOH, pwede maglabas ng memorandum na lahat ng doktor nationwide sinusunod, or lahat ng ospital. Ang DICT ba merong ganung power? Or should we lobby Congress to give more power, more teeth to the DICT?
Pwede naman.
Napaka-safe naman ng sagot.
Pwede naman. Pero to be candid about it, BICT, in its current mandate, has 3 regulatory bodies under it. Unfortunately, all 3 of those fall under my portfolio. So
Ayun.
one is the PRD, or the Postal Regulation Division, that handles PMEDES, or yung Postal Messengerial Express Services, delivery services, the most famous ones would be JNT, LBC, Shopee Express, Lala Move. So we regulate these companies, and hopefully within the coming days, and hopefully early next year, malabas na namin yung product ng TWG, so we can also regulate for purposes of consumer protection, really, yung mga riders ho ng mga PMEDES operators na to. So yung mga Grab riders, yung mga basta si Panda. Diba? Hopefully we can start to efficiently regulate them. The second regulatory body is yung Independent Common Towers, which handles companies that right now, kasi the Philippines adopted the Common Towers policy. So hindi na ho siya yung parang kada network magtayo ka ng sarili mong comms tower. Right now, we adopt na parang isa magtatayo tapos mag-lease out na lang yung mga companies dito. Kasi we really understand that, capital intensive ho ang communications industry natin. Now, we adopted yung best practices of the global best practices that, we invite common towers to put up the towers tapos i-lease out nila. The third regulatory body that we have is yung SSPO, so yung Satellite Service Providers and Operators. So, given from the name, ito yung mga like Starlink, like Complark, and other entities that offer satellite services as forms of communication. So, yun yung tatlong regulatory bodies na napapailalim mo sa DICT.
Napakaganda nitong usapan natin because I'm sure people are like me. Alam mo, we're ignorant to what DICT really does. And itong usapan na to, I think you've given light na, ganun pala yung DICT. Ganun pala, no? So, napaka-important. Kasi I would really love for people to understand. Ito na yung future. The DICT will be the major player in the future sa ating mga departments, hindi ba?
Like I said, we are fortunate, and this is something personal, really personal. I'm really fortunate right now that, out of the short history of the ICT, you have now a secretary, a leader that, really understands ICT, who has grown up in ICT. If you look at the background of Secretary Ivan John Uy, talagang from the very start, apart from being a lawyer, he's involved in ICT. So he understands the problems, the needs of the ICT industry, the needs of digitalization for the whole bureaucracy. So, hindi naman, again, pasensya na po and pasintabi na po if I say that, for the first time that, in its short history, you have someone competent, someone who understands really the concerns and
kailangan natin
for the ICT industry.
Alam mo, kasi lahat naman kayo, you're in government now. We've all been in government one point or another. Tayong mga nandito sa radio station na ito. Talaga naman noong araw, lalo na noong panahon namin, ilan lang naman ang may competence eh. Karamihan naman kasi political favor. Ngayon, maski pa paano, dumadami na yung competent. Di ba? Yan pa rin yung mga political favor, pero dumadami na yung competent compared to many years ago. And that's, para sa akin, it's long overdue. It's a very slow progress towards the ideal, pero nevertheless, doon na ako sa slow kesa no progress. Ito nga, si Tito Joey, sabi niya, Attorney, I love you.
Mas Joey, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Yung mga kaibigan na natin, nabira na natin makita si joining government eh. I'm really happy to hear from them dito sa programa nyo na ano sila. I get to reconnect with them also.
Alam mo, sabi nila, ako yung artista pero mas marami pang fans tong si Attorney Apoy. Ito yata pinakagwapong ASEC sa lahat ng departamento, ano?
Hindi po may mga kaibigan tayo na ano, like that, ano, parang sabi ko marami diyan. Marami diyan.
Anyway, ano bang sasabihin ko? Kuya, ano ba ang nakikita mong future para sa DICT? Para sa gawain ng DICT? Kasi siyempre nag-i-evolve. Every year may bagong technology. Every year may bagong trend. Every year ang ones and zeros is now really what rules our lives.
I think right now because of it's fortunate and unfortunate. It's unfortunate that these attacks have to happen before, gaining an idea of what needs to be done. And we're happy na parang right now we are being recognized as one of the integral parts of government, one of the necessary parts of government. We're happy for the clamor for additional mandate, additional budget. But again, really subscribe to the wisdom of doon naman sa mga nakakaintindi ng administration natin, budget processes natin, ano yung pangangailangan ng tao. Pero again, I think the role of the ICT in the future will grow and grow and grow. Sabi ko nga, this is the digital age, and this is the first time after the pandemic, sabi ko nga, it really struck us that how dependent we are really with technology and being digitalized and being online. So I only see that parang kasi if you look at the mandate of the ICT, very basic lang eh. Right now, parang after the pandemic and after yung mga nare-realize natin yung how vulnerable we are, lumalaki yung mga needs na dapat siguro matugunan, and I think the proper agency siguro and sabi ko nagpapasalamat tayo na parang there is this recognition for the DICT na to be at the forefront of all these particular issues.
I think since the time that when the ICT was first conceptualized, hindi napaka-rudimentary pa yung ating understanding of how technology permeates into every facet of our life, hindi ba? So yun ang ayan na yung isang host natin, si Kuyang Danfred Antonio, mga Lodi, mga Papsi, mga Yangko daw. Meron din Danfred about
yes, Godfred. Yes.
At saka siyempre si Rambase, Mabrooks Boss Aboy. Cheers. Yeah.
Mabrooks, Kuya.
So, Kuya, how was DICT created? Ito by executive order? Ito by legislative act ng Congress? How was DICT created?
This was born out of the legislature through a Republic Act. The ICT was before, nung una panahon po is it was integrated into the DOTC dati, Department of Transportation and Communication. After that, naging CICT ho, which at that time, ang commissioner ho, si Secretary Ivan Jan Uy, mas naging ICTO under the DOST until the enactment of 11.8. So, it just escaped me yung Republic Act ngayon for the creation of the ICT.
Pero the fact na alam mo yung buong history, everything, it really shows your competency. It really shows.
Hindi ko kailangan na po kasi madalas natanong din tayo sa Congress.
The fact that you know your own house, every
Oo.
corner of your house, even the history of how your house was built. It shows a very, very high degree of competency and intellect. At saka si Amang Ronnie Salamat, watching daw. Nasa barko yata to, pero nanonood yata sa atin. Pero kuya, ito ang tanong ko, no? So does this mean na kailangan nang i-revisit yung law para to update ano ang mga pangil and clause and muscles na pwede idagdag sa sa DICT, considering na ngayon namumuka na ang ating mga mata at ang mata ng ating mga kongresista kung ano talaga ang papel ng DICT. And this way, siguro alam mo, katulad yung PNP, di ba? Ilang beses nagkaroon ng revision ng PNP law. So every X amount of years, na-revise. Ngayon, may balak pa yatang i-revise ulit. So I think maybe hindi ba pinupush ng DICT to have a new law to, kumbaga, supersede na itong yung luma. At magkaroon tayo ng bagong, more powerful and more relevant DICT because I think imposibleng hindi maging relevant ito. Ngayon, nakita-kita na natin eh.
I think there are no certain talks and certain legislative proposals, yung mga congressional bills natin to revise 11. Now it came back to me 11844 Republic Act 11844 created the ICT. Apart from that, those bills, there's also a bill for the e-government law, which would also encapsulate yung Magna Carta for ICT workers. Like I said, there's a problem of the discrepancy ng pasweldo sa gobyerno at pasweldo sa private sector. So with that Magna Carta, it would give certain premiums do sa mga magtatrabaho sa government for ICT workers. Tapos again, for the digitalization processes of the bureaucracy para maging streamline ho tayo. Andyan na rin ho yung katuwang natin ang ARTA, Secretary Perez, yung mga kaibigan ho natin sa ARTA for the streamlining of the processes which really involve digitalization.
Yun, ano? Pero talagang maganda yan. Alam mo yung pagtaas ng sahod ng ating mga IT. Kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng brain drain eh. Alam mo, magaling. Mas mataas ang sahod sa Canada, doon ako. Kung tayo natin ang ating mga intellectuals, grabe ang mangyayari sa Pilipinas ang future natin. Kinakamusta din ka din ng mga ating mga Pilipino na mga kababayan sa Princess Cruise. Nandun daw sila sa mga crew ng barko ng Princess Cruises. Nandun sila sa Europe right now. At ang maitre d' ng hotel ng Princess Cruises, si Kuyang Ronnie. Salamat. Kamusta daw tayo? At nakikinig daw ang mga Pinoy doon, ng mga sailors sa atin.
Ako ayan ho talaga ang ating mga heroes, modern day heroes, apart from the doctors and apart from the medical frontliners natin. Our constant heroes ay mga OFWs ho natin, Kuya Ronnie, tsaka sa inyong mga kasamahan dyan sa barko, yung mga OFWs natin ho sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. Maraming salamat ho sa inyong sakripisyo para sa ating bayan.
Ronnie, alam ko, meron kayong malaking screen dyan sa Gali, nanonood kayo sabay-sabay. Pwede ba bawat isa sa inyo mag-login para dumami yung views namin? Alam ko, mag-grupo kayo dyan. Isang screen lang kayo. Gawin nyo ng isa-isa para marami ang views namin. Meron daw tatanong si Jomel Maranan para sa atin. Ang problema daw, nakalimutan na niya ang kanyang itatanong. Kaya next time na lang daw. At ang mga
yan talaga mapagliro talaga si Kuya Bunso kung nakita ko.
Ang mga kaibigan natin from the United Kingdom of Great Britain, si John Gali. Salute to DICT and Attorney Aboy.
Ayan, kasama ko yan sa mga bayani natin, si Boss John Gali. Nakasama ko yan magtrabaho before while waiting for the bar. Nagtrabaho tayo sa mga BPO industry natin. So again, we got first-hand of knowledge of parang ano yung mga concerns ng ibang concerns natin.
Pang-international talaga tong kuyang ko na to eh. Pang-international.
hindi.
Ang fans club nito, mag-a-apply na ako. Si Jovit Moya, presidente ng Attorney Aboy Paraiso Fans Club. Pwede ba yun, Kuyang Jomel? Kuyang, any parting words or do you have some message na gusto mong iparating sa ating mga kababayan? At we're ending at 3, so we have got a few minutes naman. Hindi ba tayo nagmamadali? I'm sure di ka rin nagmamadali. At alam ko naman, binigyan mo tayo ng oras. Kaya highly appreciated. You have no idea how much truly appreciated natin. And I'm sure the public also appreciates kasi maraming taong talagang blanco. Lalo na yung age group ko, yung mas matanda sa akin, hindi na alam kung anong pipindutin, hindi ano. So I think yung services ng DICT to government, to the private sector is really something na eye-opener itong pinag-usapan natin.
Ay, kami naman no, sa DICT is constantly, sabi ko nga, I'd like to take this opportunity siguro na pasalamatan din ho yung mga kasamahan natin dito sa trabaho nito kasi first hand doon nakikita natin gaano sila magtrabaho, especially with their kabila-kabila ang mga insidente ho ng mga nagtatangka na makapenetrate sa mga government systems natin, even the private websites. They work really tirelessly, parang konti yung sweldo, konti yung tao, pero they do what they can do with what we have. Sabi ko nga, thank you rin ho. Siguro gusto ko rin pasalamatan si Secretary Ivan Uy na parang he shows us constant examples of leadership na parang despite of the challenges, despite kung ano lang kung meron kami, sabi, there's one statement that he had that really stuck with me. Parang, despite the challenges, parang nyo kaming tinanggalan ng bala, but we would continue to fight even if we fight with sticks and stones. So that shows you the kind of innovative, visionary leader that we have in the ICT. That inspires. No, it inspires. Sabi ko nga, hindi nakakapagod magtrabaho para sa taong ganun work ethic din. No?
Nung araw, yung mga Spartan, nung Battle of Thermopylae, sabi ni King Leonidas, even if I have to, wala na akong sword, but I will claw and I will use my fingernails. I will fight on.
We would fight. Sabi nga nila, they would rain down arrows on us. Tapos sabi niya, we would fight in the shade.
Yeah.
So, you know, that, again, the people I work with, yan, again, hindi rin masama at saka nakakagaano sa trabaho na meron akong kapatid na nagtatrabaho si Kuyang Yusek, Jeffrey Ian, na constantly we communicate with each other, try to coordinate with each other, especially kasi ang legal services so is a support system for the various operational systems of the ICT, which is like connectivity, government, NGDC. So, yan, you know. Tapos sa taong bayan naman, no, sa ating mga kababayan, maraming salamat to. At sana yung mga programa katulad nito ng VantagePoint Media, yung mga programa ni Kuya Jovit, ni Kuya Nebs, si Kuya Nebs na tagal ko na rin hindi nakikita ni Kuya Ag, na yung mga ibang mga kuyang at mga kapatid natin dito sa VantagePoint, bigyan ho natin ng tamang platform, masuportahan ho natin para yung mga we have this constant conversations not only with the ICT but other government agencies as well. Tsaka, siguro iba-iba't mga sektor naman na parang at least we have something that would grow knowledge, and I think that's siguro for me we really have to understand that in this day and age dapat hindi ho tumigil ang pag-aaral natin, ang pag-uunawa natin. Kasi parang pag hindi nyo inunawa yan, that is the birth of fear. Fear is born of something that you don't understand.
May mga ibang tao, sabi nila, hindi ako techie. Ganun ang sinasabi. Mga tao, mga Pilipino usually afraid of something new. Nasabi nila, hindi ako techie. Pag may mga pa-English, nako, nosebleed. Ayaw matuto. Parang, bakit ba kaya ganun tayo, no? Parang, we are adverse to improving ourselves. Is that an accurate statement, do you think? Or tahaka ko lang yun?
I think that's a reflection of yung gaano tayo ka-resistant doon sa nakasanayan na natin. We really fear or really shy away from going outside out of our comfort zone kasi nakasanayan na ito na yung And sometimes kasi gano'n din tayo pinalaki na parang magsanay ka sa ganitong bagay. Pag tapos mo mag-aral dyan, yan na yan. Wala ka na. But, you know, in this day and age, na constant and mabilis ang pagpapalit ng teknolohiya ng mga patakaran, kailangan natin mag-adapt. And that's something that, you know, would lead us to thrive and succeed really in this day and age.
Panalo. Oo, tama talaga. Tamang idea yan. Talagang dapat siguro talagang bata pa lang pinupush natin yung mga ano na kailangan maging innovative ang mind nyo, open mind, open heart, parang ganun, ano?
Opo. Opo,
May,
bilang magulang kasi parang Kuya Jovi, minsan magiging protective tayo na parang, hindi, ito lang, ito lang. But right now, sabi ko nga, as a parent myself, parang ngayon ko lang nare-realize being government na parang you have to encourage also the curiosity of our children and, you know, you have to indulge sometimes. Pero you have to guide them, di ba? Hindi mo nang pwede pakawalan niya na, oh, be curious, di ba? And explore. But you really have to encourage their curiosity and then guide them on how to handle their curiosity and how to address kung paano nila matutugunan yung curiosity na yun.
ako, I don't teach my kids what to think. I teach my kids how to think.
Yes. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Okay, kinakamusta tayo ni Chang Castillo. Sabi niya, parehas papabol si attorney si Sir Jovit. Mga papabol. Yan. Well, Kuya, I hope sa susunod magkaroon tayo ng more time in the future. Let's do this again. Sabi natin si Yusek ulit. Pag wala siyang meeting, mas maganda-ganda. Masaya Kuyang
yun talaga ang in-demand sa DICT, hindi ho talaga ako. Pagkataon lang na ako lang ang mouthpiece ho namin.
Yung mouthpiece ang kailangan, siyempre.
Sige po.
Okay, Kuya, maraming salamat sa iyo. I love you very much. And I'm sure it's been a very, very educational afternoon sa ating mga nakikinig. Ano? Number one, you've narinig nyo kanina, kahit nung nandyan si Yusek, di ba? Ine-explain niya si Yusek Jeff, di ba? Ine-explain niya yung pag-click ng mga link. So yun, kung hindi nyo napanood kanina earlier, pwede naman kayong mag-review nito dahil nasa Facebook po ito at nasa YouTube itong VantagePoint. So pwede nyo, hindi nyo napanood live ngayon, mamaya after office hours, panoorin nyo ulit. Makikita nyo ang mga papabol dito today. Si Attorney Aboy ng DICT at yung kalbong inyong likod, si Jovit. Dati sabi sa akin, bakit nagpabalbas ka? Sabi ko, pag wala akong balbas, mukha ako Rexona, roll on.
Mawala man dito, at least dito ma-maintain. Nalipat lang. Gravity, sabi mo ko yan.
Dito talaga, gravity. Okay, mga kaibigan, so that ends our program for the day. Again, maraming salamat kay Asek Aboy Paraiso. Yan po ang ating kasangga dyan sa DICT. Alam nyo, let's face it, we now live in the digital age. If kung late kayo marami dito, late nakita ko yung numbers natin, late sign up, nanood, pero I'm telling you guys, our world now revolves around technology. Darating ang panahon, really, it will double, it will treble yung influence ng technology sa atin. Even in our politics, the way we decide things. Di ba, Kuyang? I think, and more than ever.
Every aspect, in all aspects of life, really, we cannot escape digitalization. So parang it's either we adopt, we educate ourselves, we upskill ourselves, or, get left behind. And sabi ko na, it would be unfortunate, and siguro there is a failure in government if hindi ho natin mahikayat lahat na we adapt and we progress as a nation.
Very Darwinian yung sinabi mo. Alam mo, nung pumunta sa Galapagos si Darwin, sabi niya, wow, if you cannot adapt, you will die out. Di ba? It was written in his book, The Origin of the Species. Yan.
Yes.
Okay, mahilig ka magbasa.
There's really no substitute para sa pag-ano natin, rather than either through experience or reading other people's experience, so we learn from them.
We learn, we experience what they have vicariously through their words, through their eloquence, and through their wisdom.
Opo.
Okay, thank you very much, mga kaibigan. Thursday, every Tuesday and Thursday po tayo, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Mabuhay! Manood po kayo ng Jovitasyon. I love you all, and remember this, pinaka-importante sa lahat, God loves you all.
Maraming salamat po.
Bye!
Bye po.